What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Negative Degree Podcast, where negativity is our reality. I'm your host, DJ Frostbite. I'll be using his name for a couple more episodes because I finally got another alias that I'm going to use for this. Again, trying to separate ties with my DJ life, with my podcasting life. But before we get into the topic of the day, I want to make sure everybody likes, shares, subscribe. Give a thumbs up on YouTube, follow me on Facebook, join the Discord, follow the Frozen Wasteland, let's have some discussions. If there's a topic that you want me to talk about, ask it on there. Also, you can follow me on Instagram at Negative Degree Pod. And unfortunately, I do have a TikTok. Follow that, it's Negative Degree Podcast. I don't have it on the screen because I really don't want to have it, but I got it. I might try to post clips or something on there. I'll let you know whether it's on Facebook or if it's on Instagram, whatever. I'll let you know when I start posting like clips and shit on there if I really want to. So today is going to be a very spicy episode of this because I've been going through a lot, especially yesterday, but also the past couple weeks. But I want to talk about someone who I've had to work with, and it always has been great. I want to talk about promoters. Not really good promoters, but promoters. What's up, Kyle? What's up, Anna? Anna. What's up, Kyle? All right, so I want to get into this, and this is a disclaimer before I even get into this. I'm not trying to bash nobody. Depending. Not trying to bash nobody. I'm not trying to put nobody down. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to make it to where somebody is getting their livelihood taken from. But the shit needs to be fucking said. Because this person is just doing too much, and I've had the fucking last straw, especially after some shit that I heard. So this podcast is about a promoter who I've known for probably about like 2 years. He goes by, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna say it. Like, if he has something to say about it, he can fucking tell me. He goes by Petty Murphy. His real name's Terrence Hayes, but he goes by Petty Murphy. I've known him, I think legit 2 years, somewhere around there. I met him through, as you saw, my friend Lace, who has been on this podcast before. And when I first met him, didn't really know too much about him, but he was telling me about a show he was doing out in Kansas City, and told him I was a DJ. He was like, hey, if you want to come out, I got a slot for you, come out. If you can get out there, it's yours. So I'm like, cool. This was like August of like 2019, 2020, somewhere around there. I could probably look it up. But I was broke. I had no kind of money. I think I only was in Wichita for maybe like less than a year, somewhere around there. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to take my chance. Because it sounded great. He was telling me how many people it was going to be, how, it was going to, how it like sold out, and it was going to be going into a movie and all this other different stuff. I'm just like, man, like this shit sounds good. I want to be a part of it. I spent so much money getting out there. Like, I wasn't able to drive, because I had a shitty ass car at the time. I had like a 1992 Buick fucking 2-door that was it was barely holding together. The fact that I drove it from Garden City, Kansas, where I was living before, like when I first moved to Kansas, from there to Wichita, which was like a 3.5 hour drive, and it didn't stop on me, was amazing. And I wasn't going to risk it going from Wichita to Kansas City. So I took a bus, I took the train, I paid to get a hotel room for like 2 days, and I had no idea, like I thought I was going to get enough cash to where I can like get back home. So I get there, I Ubered everywhere I needed to go, from like the train station to my hotel, then from the hotel to the venue and all that stuff. And I get there, and it is nobody. It is the promoter, doing this podcast with a couple people, and it's a nice venue. Like it's a really nice venue. They have one of those like old school like catering elevators that you can get onto. It's a really nice venue. And when the show starts, it's really nobody. I'm just like, so hey, where's everybody at? It was like, oh, well, we had to switch it because of the pandemic, and this and that. So it's mostly people watching it online. I'm just like, I guess. And so I'm doing the show, and this is when I'm like, I'm barely really knowing what I'm doing. I'm still, I probably like in my like second year of like DJing, really like my first year because I'm still trying to like figure out what I'm doing. I think at this time I really even wasn't even really getting to like all my good music of like actually knowing where to find my music from. I was still like YouTube, like the downloading my music from like YouTube, which they tell you as a DJ you're not supposed to do. I didn't know about you know like record like DJ services and stuff like that where I can actually download quality music, shit like that. And also my blends weren't that great, but I'm doing my thing, trying to at least. And I realized, I'm really not DJing in front of anybody, but I'm trying to do my best. And also the fact that it's me as a DJ, it's someone who now is one of my friends, Moss, DJ Moss, who he was young at the time. Dude does his thing. He's an artist. He's a DJ. Fucking great beatboxer. Check him out. It's MAS. Meet him and his parents. And then there's another DJ, the actual like host prime DJ, who was straight garbage. Straight garbage. And I know he was garbage because I've met him before. And I can't remember his name because I always mess it up. But I knew him because I used to work with him when I used to work at a strip club. And I ended up getting his job because he didn't want to listen. And the same thing happened this night to where they were telling him, hey, play local music. We're live streaming this if we don't want to get kicked off and stuff like that. And he was just playing nothing but trap music that no one really knew what the hell was going on. And me and Moss was going back and forth. I would DJ for a bit and he would DJ until like the start of the show. And then the host DJ was just like, oh, I could smoke you guys and that, blah, blah, blah. And I know he couldn't. Like I've heard him DJ, like actually DJ before. He's not that good. Like Moss, great. Me, I was alright at the time. I got better now. But that host DJ for that show in Kansas City was not great. But then going on to the rest of the show, it was a fucking clusterfuck. It was groups and different artists like not showing up on time, not being present for like other people, or just having like their groupies and their homies come to like support them. And then once they got done performing and got off stage, they went back outside, out to the parking lot, drinking, smoking, doing all this shit. It wasn't a great show. Then on top of that, when I got done, only got paid $50. Moss got paid like nothing, I don't think. But then the promoter wanted to be like, oh, you're gonna be the next, Kid Capri and this and that, da da da. And I'm just like, fuck. And I was pissed. I'm like, I spent all this money that I needed for like bills or even rent or whatever. And I took a leap of faith to hopefully, I thought hopefully I'd make some more money. And I really didn't. I spent more money than I actually got. I'm just like, I'm never working with this dude ever again. If it wasn't for Moss and Marcella and all of them, which if y'all watching this, Marcella, if you watching this, I appreciate you. Especially that day, like I was so happy to meet y'all. Because if not, I probably would have been stuck in Kansas City, possibly. But also the fact that like I met y'all were completely nice to me, still are to this day. Moss is one of my homies. I consider him like a little brother because for some reason everybody thinks we look the same and we don't, and I have a picture to prove that. But I just felt defeated that day, and I was like, I'm never working with this dude again. Cut to, I think it was like a few months ago, or like sometime last year. I can't remember. Promoter's doing another show here in town, and he doesn't have a ride to get into town in Wichita. He lives in Olathe. Doesn't drive, doesn't have a car, nothing. Like he got to get picked up and drove around everywhere. So I hit him up and I was like, hey, I saw you got this on the show. If I come pick you up, give me a slot on the show, and I want to get paid. Like you owe me. He was like, oh yeah, for sure. This and that, blah blah blah. You know, now he was charging he was charging people to like get a slot on the show, or whatever. He was like, oh, I'm gonna waive your fee and this and that, so that way you're good. I'm like, all right. So I drove all the way to Olathe, then drive him back to Wichita to get him to the show relatively on time. He was probably like maybe 10 minutes late. And this is where I meet another DJ friend of mine who still talk to this day. Who's actually watching the stream right now, Kyle Holly, aka DJ Three Fingers. Check him out. He's another DJ, and he also does a podcast. Check out the All Points podcast. It's fucking hilarious. Got to show love to him because he actually is like him and his crew are funny. But actually, that wasn't even the first time we met. I don't think, because we met another time, which that is a funny story. But me and him DJing, and again, it's another crazy shit show. It's a little bit more people at this show because again, it's people who showed up a bit early, who are performers, comedians, this and that, blah blah blah. But it was another thing of like when one person performed, if they had a group, they probably stayed for like another 5-10 minutes and then dipped. And then also the fact that he had it where it was a private event, and he was charging $15 at the door at a place where there was no cover charge at all. And people were leaving. And Terrence, I see you on here. Hey, yes, I'm talking about you. Sorry. But you know what you did. I'm not... But yeah, charging $50 at the door at a place where people usually don't get charged at Peerless, and people didn't want to come in. And I got paid a decent amount. I can say that he did pay me a decent amount. Then got an extra $100 tip from the owner, who people don't fucking like at the place. And I felt a little bit better about working with him because I was like, all right, at least I did get more than the first time I got paid. The first time I had to work with him. Then third show, coming back to Kansas City. So it was a big show and all this. It was going to be at this big place, and then it got toned down to something else, to a different place. I was like, all right. Drove out there, once again, barely had that much cash. This is when gas was still like, it was like almost fucking $5. Spending like $60 to put in my tank and stuff like that. And, drove all the way up there, did the show, was told, oh, it was going to be 200, 300 people, sold all these tickets, this and that, blah, blah, blah. It was like 20 people. And, it's just sad. I was like, I'm expecting like huge, like a huge crowd, and it's really nobody. It was mostly just, it was the performers, some people that they brought, and that's really about it. And I enjoyed the performances because they were great, performers and artists and rappers and stuff like that, and singers. But even the artists were just like, yeah, I've worked with him before, and it's usually like this. It's never really a big crowd. He always talks a big game, but It's never he never really like delivers and stuff like that. And this is coming from the artist. And hey, it's a way for them to show what they can do and stuff like that. And there's no shame in it. But when it's really not a lot of people watching it, especially like live, it's kind of disheartening. Like if it's a live stream, whatever, I still don't know how many people are watching that. If it is even working, or if people actually really are watching it. But you rather see a live reaction over like something on a computer. But yeah, didn't had to wait to get paid on that one. Like had to wait days, but I finally got paid. Then he also paid me in advance for the show that I'm about to talk about now. So the last show I worked with him, which Kyle, if you want to talk about it, you can hop in or leave some stuff. So last Sunday, I had a crazy ass weekend. Friday had the DJ. I was DJing at Fever. Saturday did a birthday and did something with another friend of mine. Name's Chandler. He owns By Safari. He's a EDM dubstep DJ. Check him out. He makes his own music. But Sunday, got up early. Had to drive to Overland Park. Drove all the way out there. Got there. Made sure to get there early because I was like, I want to get there so I can set up stuff. Because I was told to bring my equipment, same as Kyle. It was like bring your sound equipment because we were both told one person a DJ was going to be outside, another DJ was going to be inside. It was going to be like 20 like performers and like artists and stuff like that. And so I'm like, all right. So I bring my speakers, my stands, all the stuff I need because I didn't know what this was going to be at all. So I get there like 2:45. I say it in the group chat because from like the end of June up till this day, he was like just promoting this thing, saying how it's gonna be this person hosting it. He's not gonna be a part of it. He's just gonna be in it. Does this and that, da da da, blah 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 blah. What's up, Darren? I see you. I mean, even on vacation, you still watching this thing, man. But hey, Cynthia. But yeah, like we on this group chat, with all the people who's supposed to be in the show, and he just like, man, we need to be promoting this every single day. Doesn't that da 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 blah blah blah. And Kyle, and I wish I could get Kyle on this thing right now, but this probably be on another like a part two or something like that. But Kyle had to tell me like, hey man, everybody got lives. Ain't nobody gonna be doing this every single day because that's just spamming, and that'll like get more people who don't want to be involved and don't want to come to the show, which is true. I'm like, it's a different thing of like doing it like once a week or like something like that, but like the fact that it's not even close to like the month, like I get it, but I still like tried to promote it because I wanted people to be there. I did. I wanted people to be there. I I wanted it to be a decent crowd, which spoiler alert really wasn't. But go out there, do what I need to do. I'm hauling in all my equipment. My dad's there, and get over to the stage area. It's nothing but subs and amps on it. So I'm just like, I guess ain't nobody here to set all this stuff up. So set up my speakers, put them on my stands, about to plug in everything. One of the co-owners there, who was our sound guy, he was like, "Oh, hey, we can just use the speakers that are here." And I'm just like, "Oh, thanks." Well, I already had these set up, but I'll take them down, and we can have better sound in here because I got like 15-inch JBLs. These motherfuckers kick like mules. Like they're loud as hell. they'll get the job done wherever. These used to be like my job's old speakers, which they're heavy as fuck. They're heavy duty. You could fucking like slam these things and they would not break. Like they're JBL Eons. If you're into like music or like sound and stuff like that, you know exactly what these are, and even you'll be like, yeah, these things fucking hit. But if you got a stage where it has a bunch of subs and amps and stuff, rather use that. Got a great sound guy. He knew what he was doing, so I was like, perfect. So get everything set up. Kyle shows up, and like I said, we were told that one of us was going to be inside, another one was going to be outside. It was 100 and some degrees. So then the promoter goes, "Oh, well, I decide that we're going to have both of you inside." Cool, because there should have been the thing in the first place. I brought my table. It's a 6 foot table. I can be on one side. Kyle was able to be on the other. Mixer in the middle. That way we can we didn't even have to swap out. I got an 8 channel mixer. I can plug in on one side. He could plug in on the other, and boom, right there. Hey Shay, what's up? And now we were told, not even just us, everyone in this group chat who was supposed to be part of the show, we were all told to be there 4 o'clock. Doors open at 4. Show starts at 6. I got there 2:45. Kyle was there the day before and got there at 4 o'clock. Already had everything set up. Did sound check, mic check. Had sound guy do two. What the hell? I had sound guy do 2 mics for like the performers. Me and Kyle had our own mic that I had plugged into my mixer. Everything was great. Like we had stuff prepared even before the show started. We just waiting for people to show up. So yeah, 4 o'clock. We got everything. Well, like 4:30 somewhere on there. Get everything set up. I think it's like 5 o'clock, 5:15 somewhere around there. We talking, trying to do stuff. Check my phone. What's up? Kyle, I'm checking my phone. What's up? Um, what am I not? Am I going out or something? Uh, but anyway, so it's getting close to like showtime. We still waiting for people to show up. We're looking in the group chat. People not even like ready yet. Oh, get the. Are you serious, Kyle? I'm pretty sure people are hitting them up. Sorry, y'all. I getting some live shit. Ain't this some shit? All right, man. Look it. I'm gonna keep doing my shit. So sorry, y'all. We got some controversy going on live on this shit. But anyway, now I don't feel too bad about doing this shit because now somebody getting butt hurt. But anyway, so like I said, during the entire like 2 months of doing this shit, it's be there at 4 o'clock. It says on all the flyers, be there at 4 o'clock. Show starts at 6. It is like 5:30, getting close to 6 o'clock. Me and Kyle are supposed to do like a half hour set each, somewhere around there, and we are doing way more time. You know, People still haven't showed. It's getting to 6 o'clock. People haven't showed up. No, like barely. Like it's like three or four people that showed up who are like in the crowd. The bartenders and the people who work at the venue are like waiting for more people to show up, hoping there's gonna be a decent night. My dad is sitting there like talking to the motor, and even my dad was just like, which I'll get into that later. But it's getting close to 7 o'clock, and Kyle he goes up to the motor and just like hey, 7 o'clock we need to start because if not, it's gonna get later and later, and we don't need that. Side story, what it goes into this. People are getting off this show last minute. People haven't showed up. People didn't come in last minute or like didn't say shit till like the day before that they weren't gonna show. And it was people on the show that actually knew who was supposed to be there didn't show up. So I think it's supposed. I forgot how many people it was supposed to be, but it ended up being maybe like 8 people who actually came to the show. Who came late as fuck, by the way. Like it was one guy who I think he showed up like hella late, but he was the first one up. He didn't have any experience on stage. He did his thing. I will say that. You know, it took a minute to like try to get his sound together because whether he was nervous or if he's just very like low toned or whatever like that. I gave him benefit of the doubt. His first time being on stage, that's fine. But then it kind of like snowballed from there, where that's just going on. Because like the actual host who was supposed to do the show wasn't there. So the promoter had to do it, which he's used to doing the shit anyway. But then, which sub Jordan, see you in the chat. Then, like it was supposed to be so many artists that they didn't show up. Then had all these comedians. Well, it was supposed to be comedians, rappers, all this other all this stuff. We had like 2 comedians and maybe like 6 performers actually get on stage, and like barely a crowd. Then, come to find out, charged $15 at the door again. But if you wanted a table, it was $25, and the venue didn't know about that. At least from what I was told, the venue was like the venue manager literally said that they weren't going to charge someone for a table, and they get the fact that it's a private event because they've had private events where a table, like for a table, it was like $100, but they weren't told ahead of time for this. They didn't have the staff, anything like that, and now he going live about the tune. Oh, this is finna be funny as fuck. I don't even care. So, for y'all that don't know, the promoter was actually watching this, and now he's trying to do like a smear campaign or whatever against me. And the sad part is, I have the proof. Like I know what happened. I was there. Kyle was there. I can legit call. Like I can call all these fucking venues, and they will they'll be on my side and tell you. Like I'm not even going like really hard. Like this is just me being like somewhat nice. Like I could go harder, but basically like me and Kyle were just basically carrying the show. Like we were the backbones of this stuff, waiting for people to show up. But after the first performer came up, we went back to DJing. It was one like this like white kid who was rapping, and then I think it was one comedian, and there was another artist who went up, and then we took a break because we had to wait for the R&B singer to come because she said she had just got done doing her hair and makeup. So then she gets up on stage, she does her thing, which she's a great singer. Then I think we take another break because we still waiting for more people. Then we actually get into the show where more people, like the rest of the people, start showing up. But it's just going downhill because it was one guy who he didn't know the words to his own songs. Like I'll be honest, like the last like 3 to 4 people, when it was getting closer to the end, was probably like the best part of the show. And I hate saying it like that, but like it really was, because it was like it was something new and original. And then, but like, and the sad part was like the last person who went up, everybody basically left. So he was basically rapping and singing to like nobody, which fucking sucked. Now, Jordan, I just DJ'd. Um, Basically, what happened, Jordan, is, which I wish you could have been to this thing, but me and Kyle DJ'd, and we kind of like did some commentary stuff here and there. Well, not commentary, but like we kind of did like a little bit of like back and forth like banter between us, but try to get like the little bit of the crowd that was there like into it, especially into the music and stuff, until like everybody, like to the people who performed, like showed up. Which, like I said, it wasn't a lot of people. It was maybe like 8 people altogether, maybe 10, maybe 10. Like I might be getting it wrong in my head. It might have been 10. I felt like it was like 8 because we started late. Kyle, if you remember, let me know in the chat. But it was very, very late. But yeah, it was just a lot of going back and forth from, all right, who's supposed to be up and this and that. It was legit like some on the fly stuff too, where promoter would like get up on stage and be like, oh, it's this person, it's King Ja, or it's Pachuca. I'm like, you can't tell us this like a little bit more ahead of time. Like we's playing music. He gets on the microphone, yelling too at that point, like he's straight up like yelling into this microphone, and they already had the microphone like really hot, and we had to tell him like, hey man, like you don't gotta yell into the microphone. He was like, all right, and yeah, he's going up to introduce the next person, and he's just like, he turns around to us like, it's such and such, it's such and such. I'm just like, why didn't you tell us this when you got on stage and then got onto the mic? Or let us know while we're playing music and be like, hey, this time, like play for this amount of time, and then we're gonna have this person come up. It was a shit show. And then we got done, I think it was like close to midnight, and Kyle's pissed because he hadn't got paid. He's getting every excuse under the sun of why he can't get paid that day. And he got to wait until some other day, which he still hasn't got paid. And I'm gonna say this right now: the promoter who's supposed to be paying him, I guess, messaged him and is doing a live stream on this shit right now, saying that if I don't stop my live stream and my podcast right now, that he won't pay him. I'm sorry, Kyle, but it's bullshit. Pay what you owe, man. Pay what you owe. Was this one I was? Yes, Jordan, this was the one you were supposed to be on. What the hell is going on? Mm-mm-mm. But yeah, Jordan is the one. I'm sorry, I was looking at his shit. But yeah, Jordan is the one you were supposed to do. You would have had a fucking terrible time. You would have been like, Jordan, I have seen you do comedy and like stand up at Vorshay's, a bunch of different places. There were more people there than it was at the venue that we did. That at the venue that we did that Sunday, and it and it was just so much. And it's not like this was the only time this ever happened. It's happened a lot, like where he has these grandiose ideas of like how these shows are gonna go, and it's the complete opposite. Then also, I didn't even mention this. So while he was also selling tickets to the show, like months ahead, and also like the day of to where you can pay to get in or whatever. He was also doing like a pay per view thing where you can pay to watch live stream shit like that to pay per view. Somewhere in the night, he decided to basically put the show on his Facebook and his multiple Facebooks and his YouTube for free. Just out of nowhere, it was like, oh, by the way, it's on three of my YouTubes. Oh, he's talking about in his life how he saved you after you. This nigga, are you serious? He doing a lot right now. This dude is doing a lot right now. But yeah, he yeah, Jordan, I know. I'm not reading it aloud. I'm sorry, girl. This shit is just funny. I'm just like, this dude is really trying to do a lot right now. Like, it's not like I did this. I'm not even gonna check the live, dude. I don't really care. If dude wants to fucking slander me, he can. Like, look, I've had people wanting to ruin my fucking career. The little bit that I have. If he wants to do it, so be it. If he wants to be one of those people, I don't really care. Like I've done worse than talk shit about him. And I'm really not even talking shit. Like it's not even talking shit. It's the literal truth. It is the literal truth. And it's sad. It's like I had to go through this much shit to actually make a like not even a decent amount of money because like I've been paid better from other people to do shows and stuff, but it's just coming out to do the show when it's nobody there, and then just like having to wait to get paid for what I was supposed to get that night, and it's just excuse after excuse after excuse, which Kyle's going through the same shit. Like it's been over a week and he still hasn't got paid. Like I got paid in advance, which it took him like a long time to even do that because he paid me for the show I did in Kansas City at Westport Bowery, and then on top of that paid in advance for the show that we did that Sunday, which all together it was like $750, which it's kind of a lot, but it's not really because with like you added travel and stuff like that to it. It's just, I don't know. I just don't get it. Like, he can say whatever he wants, but I'm like, and he's gonna have people on his side because he's worked with whoever. But I'm just like, the show that we did Sunday, his like main headliner, who was like, she has like a song on like the radio or whatever. She couldn't even make it because she couldn't find a babysitter. I'm just like, you've known about this for months, and you couldn't make it because of this. Then on top of that, it was like extra drama because somebody that he was like beefing with was talking shit about it, and it was like, oh well, because of this person, the show didn't do so great, and I'm just like, no, bro, it's the show didn't do good because it's always how it's been. Like it's always been just like maybe like close to 20 people, like maybe a little bit more than 20, maybe a little bit less than 20 people coming to the shows, you not really like him not really making money. I'm not really making money. Could like wasn't able to pay the venue. Then the same night that we do the show in Overland Park, he fucking tells a lie to Kyle saying that, oh, the manager said that she didn't know the combination, so I couldn't get the money and this, that, blah, blah, blah. And I tell this to the people inside, and the manager goes, oh no, I told him that I know the combination, but you need to get approval from the actual owners. And me and Kyle are just there like, sorry. Sorry, dude. I'm sorry. But we just there, and it's just like, yo, like real, like I just telling a bunch of lies, and it's just like what? I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. Like I'm not like I'm not trying to like do no extra shit, but it's fucked up, dude. Like you know it's fucked up. But yeah, it's just it was just excuse and excuse, then lies on top of lies. Like I said, he's got people like he's got his people who he's probably done stuff for. They probably known him for a while, and they're gonna be on his side. That's fine. Hey, if he actually helped you out and actually like did like big shit for you, cool. I know Dallas Chuck T. It got his like songs and stuff played, and I'm happy for him. He's really good. But at the same time, it's on two different things. It's a thing of just like, oh, I'll help this person, whatever, but it comes at a cost, and I'm tired of taking the cost, and I'm tired really tired of taking the loss. It shouldn't be a oh I have to jump through so many hoops just to do some shit. I'm tired of doing that, especially when it comes to like shows where it should be a lot of people, but because of who it's tied to, possibly, or just very bad promoting from who it is, and then people dropping out when it should either be contracts like signed, or it should be some type of thing where it's like, hey, you supposed to show up at this time. If you don't show up, that was going to cost you. Like something. There should be something in there. But the fact that it's people who just like dropped out, being like, oh, I can't make it, or I can't do this, or I can't that. Shit's unprofessional. Like, imagine like somebody with like a big name artist being like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this show, and then the day of or the day before, or even like a couple hours before the show starts, being like, oh yeah, I'm not going. I'm like this. That's asinine. There was like for one, people will fucking riot, and then two, you'd be seen as like somebody who's bad to work with. And the fact with this guy was just like, oh yeah, these people dropped out. It's whatever. Then if they wanna work with me again, they gotta sign contracts, this and that, blah blah blah. I'm like, dude, this is people who this ain't the first time this has happened to you. And it's just sad. Like it's not even like it's kind of funny, but it is just really sad because I'm just like I I tried to do what I could. Like I invited people out. It just never really good shows. Like to him, he sees it as success because he just put on another show. But I'm like, what did you gain from this? Like, what did you profit from it? Like you put on a show that you said you didn't really want to be a part of. You wanted someone who you wanted Jordan, who was going to host it, but then you kind of like rode his coattails and was like kind of clout chasing because of his movie. And it was so many times he was talking about which, and I'm sorry, Jordan, I haven't seen the movie. I bet it's great. But it was so many times where it's just like, make sure y'all check out his movie. I'm just like, why are you cloud chasing? I'm like, yes, get people to watch the movie, yes, but it felt like it was just like the theme of the night, kinda, and like that's where it got to me. It was like it couldn't just be, oh, this is the most hated last dance, da da blah blah blah. It was, oh, are we doing the show? But also while you're doing the show, make sure you check this out. By these people, da 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 blah blah blah. And there's nothing wrong with like promoting something for somebody else to get eyes on it. But it's like WWE style like promoting, or like where just like they have to like just keep pressing it into you. And I mean, honest, like that was probably going to be the last show I ever do with him, because he was talking about doing a show in California, and even my dad was just like, "Dude, stop working with him. Like he has all these big dreams and ideas, and it's not going anywhere." And I've seen that for a while, and I was like, I was trying to be hopeful about it. As someone who is as negative as they are, I was trying to be somewhat cool about it, and just be like, like maybe the next one will be better. Who knows this and that, blah blah blah. But it never did. It just got worse and worse. And it's not just me saying that. It's other artists who did the shows who are just like, oh yeah, the show's never really been that great. It's never been, a huge crowd or huge outing. It's always been, kind of small. And I'm by no means like a big name at all. I'm out there trying to do what I can. Shit, I can barely fucking bring a crowd to like a club out here in Wichita most of the times. But this is different. This is a thing of you want to have a show and make money, have all these people, go do all this stuff, and this has so much, like, it's traveling involved in this. It's trying to communicate with all these other performers and artists. It's so much shit on top of this, and it just never delivers. And I keep saying I just don't understand it, and I really don't. I mean, I get somebody wants to be a big name promoter and wants to do all this stuff, and maybe he has done it before, and it's just the certain places that he does it aren't really hidden. I don't know. I legit don't know. But from what I've seen, and from what other people told me, and from what my homie has told me before from working with him, it's never really been like a success. It's always been like a decent sized venue with a small crowd, and that's really it. It's always performers and artists dropping out either the day of, or the day before, or a week or something before, or it's always some type of complication. And I'm like, as a promoter and all this stuff for a show, why are you letting this slide? Then also saying that it's gonna be a movie and all this stuff like that still hasn't come out. It's supposed to be on DVD or Blu-ray or whatever. Still hasn't done it. Um, but for anybody who's listening to this and who's probably dealt with this before, don't work with this person. Like I said, they're trying to slander me right now and try to say that, oh, they've done this for me and that for me. I'm like, yes, you've paid me, but not the way like anybody, like an actual regular like promoter who has like with a big name, or like, I'll put it like this. I have done shows with like rappers and stuff like that, to where I've really made like barely anything, but it was still like a decent crowd. They promoted like they were supposed to, you know. It wasn't just like a me type of thing. It wasn't them just like talking out there. It wasn't a writing a check that their ass couldn't cash type of thing. This was like a snake oil salesman where they want to tell you all this stuff and then the shit never really happens. And that's literally what my dad said. It was like, he's saying all this stuff, and when you see the final product, it's not working. But yeah, he's live streaming right now, probably trying to talk shit and saying that I'm the reason for whatever. And in reality, I'm not. Like I'm one person. Like and I'm a small, minute part of this show. I I get the flash drives or the emails from the performers and rappers and play their music. I try to do like some banter and stuff here and there with the DJ who I was with that day. I play my role, but like this day, it was more than that. It was me and the other person who I was DJing with, because he said not to say his name. But it was me and the other person kind of having to take the lead and be the backbone of the show until people showed up. And the crazy part is, a lot, like the people who actually were there to see the show, they said that we were the best part of the show. Like we had to be the people like playing all like the like hyped up music or like good music until the artist showed up. And there was a lot of artists who weren't that good, and then like I said, toward the end it got better. And hey, if anybody who knows this guy and they're listening to it and they say something about it, you are free to be on his side. I don't care. Like I don't know you personally. I might not even fucking worked with you before. If he, like I said, I've said it on here. If he's done something to help you out, cool. But I've done better with other people who, like, my homies in Oklahoma. They have not done wrong by me. Like they've paid me on time every single time. I go out there, do my shit. I get it. It's usually like a lot of people. Like I've done two shows. I think two or three shows with my guys in Oklahoma. Is it like super packed out? No, but it was always a decent sized crowd, not just 20 people. But it's a lot of people, and they make sure that I'm getting taken care of. Whether it's the money aspect, if we get food, like drinks, whatever like that. We didn't even get that at any of these shows with this dude. It was always a promise of something, and it just never delivered. And for those people who didn't show up at these shows, what for whatever reason, you didn't miss out. You really didn't. Like, and I don't know how he's going to frame this or going to spin it or whatever. If he wants to put it on me, go for it. Because it's not going to hold up. Like, you can't blame the DJ for a show that's not my thing. Like, you wanted me to be a part of it, cool. But that's it. Like, you can't blame me for anything else. Like, I knew who were going to be on the show. I knew, like, two or three other people, and they didn't show up. Like, they canceled last minute, whether for whatever reason. And like I said, you didn't miss out on anything. You missed out on just being bored. You missed out on being bored it would have been good to like come to the venue because that's the only good, like I would say that's the only good thing about doing these shows is you go to different venues because even the people who work at the venue will talk shit on how bad the shows are, but you can network. Like that's the big thing about it is you can network with other performers or other artists and the venues themselves because they're always looking for somebody to fill up a date. So that's kind of my piece on it. Kind of. I'm gonna try to have the homie on here, but like I said, I already know what's about to happen. What's up, Jeffrey? I'm not letting him get me down. Got this thing like I know who I am. Like this isn't fucking career suicide for me. I've said worse shit on this podcast about stuff, and I'm still doing what I'm doing. I'm still getting gigs and shit like that. This dude can't really fucking hurt me. Like I'm saying it right now. You don't have to put me on your shows. I don't care. But you want these big grandiose things happening to you, and if they do happen, hey, good for you. I was wrong. Maybe sometime soon he'll have like a huge show where it's like a bunch of people and he makes some dough. Cool. I still don't want to be part of it because I've seen what happens at these shows, and it's just not worth it anymore. It's not worth the hassle, and it's not really the stress. It's literally just the hassle. And for someone who says that, oh, this is why I don't work with niggas. I'm like, yeah, you don't work with niggas because you are that. Like you are that. Like true promoters, they will be on their shit being like, hey, are you still gonna be doing the show? Are you gonna be doing this? Blah 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 blah. It's not a posting a fucking flyer every single day on their social media being like, the show's going this day and this blah blah blah. Like no, it's putting this shit on the radio. Putting flyers everywhere. Doing all you can. Yes, social media does a lot. It really does. But it's got to be extra legwork. It just can't be on the artists and performers to sell tickets so that way people come. It's like, no, it's got to be a leeway. And then also the fact, like, keep saying that this will be the last show that I do. I'm not going to be a part of it. If somebody else wants to host it and do this and that and blah, 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 so be it. And then he ends up doing it anyway. Like I said, Jordan, you were supposed to host it. And like I said, you didn't miss anything. You know, Divinely Paradox, which I know she's not watching it, but you didn't miss anything because you would have just been like, why am I here? And that would have been a lot of people just being like, why am I here? It was a Sunday night that could have been spent doing anything else than being at this show. The venue, the people who were working and owned the venue were bored, waiting for something to happen. The people who showed up, they wanted to see like their people. They liked the fact that me and my homie was DJing. But it was a certain part of the show where it was like, all right, this is just boring, and they got it was like the only thing to do is probably just get drunk and then just go home. Like I said, people have dealt with worse. You know, I know Shay, aka Heliquint, she had to go through some shit with a promoter. I think it was like Oklahoma or whatever. It's a lot of shady fucking people. You know, DJs, we had to go through a lot of shit. Artists got to go through a lot of shit. And it's sad. Like, we want to perform. We do. But we don't want to deal with people who just... I'll even say this. he wants to have his time in the spotlight a lot, and I saw that in most of these shows too, where it wasn't about the artist or just the show. It was more about him, and then it was more about him, and then being like, oh well, we're doing this cause on top of this show, like the third show that I did with him. It was about mental health and mental awareness. Where yes, it's a big important thing. He had Jason Platter come out, who like I liked having him out there. He talked a lot of powerful stuff, and it kind of meshed with what the show was about because somebody, one of the performers, they lost a family member to like mental health, and a lot of other stuff happened, and I get why he did it. But it's just like why, like it feels like that should have been a separate thing. So yeah, I'm just not gonna work with this dude anymore. Which, hey, if I if I buried do whatever, don't matter, don't care. This this was the last straw, especially with everything that's been happening for the past like week with my homie. It it's just fucked up. But hey, now I know I got other shit going on. I got stuff going on this week. I got a benefit show that I'm doing this Friday. Everybody come out. It's for a 8-month old who unfortunately passed away, and it's all the money is going towards getting a headstone. It's going to be a lot of performers and artists who are going to be a part of it, and it's going to be hopefully it's going to be better than the shit I had to deal with this guy, because I'm sorry. Like I had to get this off my chest because it's how I really felt. It's how I felt for a long time, and then shit just hit the fan, and I got to the point where it was like, this makes no sense. It shouldn't. A promoter shouldn't have to do all this bullshit. Pay what you owe. Like I said, just pay what you owe. What's up, Dallas Chuck T? Like I said, if this dude has helped you out in any way, cool. But to me, and my experience with him, it's never really been that great. It's been a lot of, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and da da blah blah blah, and it's never really a big plan in place. It's always, oh, this is gonna be what we have, and then the day of, it's completely opposite. It's a venue change last minute. It's people not showing up last minute. It's a lot of just randomness while the show was supposed to be happening. And no one should have to deal with that. And I'm not talking just me. I'm talking about the artists who want to get on stage and perform. And that's what I feel like is the thing. It's like he's taking advantage of these people, because it's like, oh, you want to perform? I have this platform. You just got to do this, and I'll put you on. Oh, you won't. And it's just not worth it. Like I said, if anybody else who they know him and do stuff, sub with an inbox me email. Got some fire songs for you. Y'all in Kansas stick together. I feel you, Dallas. Um, uh, I'll send you an email. But yeah, that like I said, Dallas. I know you worked with fucking Terrence and shit. I know you helped you out with your song and stuff, trying to get it popular. I don't know if you homies with him or whatever. Like I said, I ain't trying to talk bad about the dude. He seems like he's a cool person, but when it comes to the promoter side, it's just not it. It's just not it. Like everybody has a dream, everybody has one, but with this, it's not coming to fruition. You know. And I'm someone who have done my own show before. Moss was with it, and I had a show where no one showed up, and I hated it. And I'm trying to get to the point where I can build myself up to do more shows and stuff. Like I spent a lot of cash and money on it, so I get it. Like it's fucking hard to promote and show and trying to get people out. I do get that, but when it's a failure after a failure after a failure after a failure, I mean it's got to be a part. There's got to be a time where it just goes. All right, I need to stop doing this for a while and build this up more. Get people who I know I can trust to be a part of this, and then try to make another show. Like I'm not trying to bash anybody's fucking like dream or whatever they do. It's just do it better. Like I know it sounds fucked up and condescending, but do it better. Find better ways of doing it. When you come to these shows and it's barely people coming, you got to figure out something else to do because nobody wants to perform in front of like 10 people. As someone who has DJ'd in front of nothing but like 10 people before, no one wants to do that. No one wants to rap to like a corner of people. Like you want to see a crowd, a wave of people when you're rapping and performing and stuff like that. You don't want just a woo, yeah, yeah. Like no. You want people just like going crazy on the dance floor or like by the stage. Uh, that's gonna be it. Like I said, announcements. I'm gonna be at Barleycorns this Friday, August 27th. I think it's the 20. It's 26th, 27th. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna be at Barleycorns. I'm gonna be doing the benefit show. Uh, it is for Jason Spencer, I believe his name is. 8 month old who unfortunately passed away. The money is going towards the headstone. It is led by Tiffany Spencer. If you want to know more about the show, hit her up, hit me up, whatever. It is gonna be actual big lineup of performers donating their time. Gonna be like I think they're either raffling or donating like clothes and gear and swag. Excuse me. Um, I want to try to see if I can get some other people a part of it too. But if not, I know there's going to be a lot of things going on with that. I'm going to try to get like some shirts made. Try to at least, because I'm kind of hurting for fucking cash lately. Um, I try to do some stuff part of the show as well, so that something I can donate or give away to people. I believe September 9th, I'm actually doing a show with Divinely Paradox called Astral Plane. I forgot where it is because I have not heard from her in a while. But I know she wanted me to be the DJ for the show. I don't know if she forgot somebody else. If you have, hit me up. But doing that show, August 1st, I'll be in Oklahoma with my homie C3 and Glen Trail, aka Nerdy Verde. It'll be doing C3's birthday. He's supposed to be a big birthday bash. He asked me to come out and DJ and party, which I'm totally down to do. Uh, I'm excited. I really am excited. Come out if you can. Also, they do like a monthly like charity show. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it to the last one. One, I was still having car problems, and two, end up having a show at Fever. So I ended up doing some stuff in town, which they were completely understandable about it. And the next time they have something going on, I definitely want to be a part of it. They actually had something going on. I think they're going on tour this week. They're going to be in Pittsburgh, Kansas, um, Topeka, I believe, if I remember right, and then somewhere in Arkansas. So check them out, Nerdy Verde, like Verde like green. So Nerdy Verde. Come out to support the benefit show this Friday. Saturday, I think I have something going on. I can't remember. Oh no, Saturday I got a wedding, so never mind. Uh, But I think it's done at like 9 o'clock, so I can still go DJ somewhere if somebody needs me. I think that's really about it. But moral of the story: just watch who you work with, because some people you just can't work with them. They Dallas hit me up on Messenger, and I'll send you my email because I do want some of your tracks that I can play when I DJ. Get you some more people listening to your music. But yeah, just watch the people that you work with, no matter what. No matter if they are a promoter, whether they are a performer, no matter what they are, no matter what aspect of what you do, just watch out, because some people just don't have your best interests at heart, and a lot of people are just shady. But that is, excuse me, that is the Negative Degree Podcast. I've been your host, DJ Frostbite. Thank you for watching, and as always, stay negative, my friends.